Let's just simplify digital ID. All digital access is subject to trust, isn't it? Whether you're logging into your Facebook account or social media, YouTube, ordering from Amazon or your online banking, it's dealt with by trust, and the gatekeeper of that trust is your password. Now, in the old days, before digital stuff came along, before we had the ease of access to things, and I'm not saying that that isn't to be welcomed, but before that, for instance, if somebody wanted to rob you from your banking, they'd have to do a bank robbery. They'd have to physically rob a bank and organise transport, bags, personnel, take hostages, whatever it took to rob the bank to get to your money. Now, to get to your money, all they have to do is get a clever hacker, and billions are lost this way every day. And that's only private online banking, which is a private contract between you and your bank. It still happens. When you're looking at digital ID for the whole nation, especially with this one login suggestion that the government is copying from, I think it's an Eastern European country with a few inhabitants that have been using a similar system that's been breached several times. This is really bad news, because every time you log in, that means whatever you're doing with your login, whether you're buying groceries or logging into your bank account or booking a taxi, all your information is accessible to a hacker, to bad players, through that one login. So quite clearly you're at risk every time you need to use your digital ID. The government are trying to sell you the idea that we need it. They're actually selling you this on the back of all their failures that exist. For instance, they've just let some criminals out early. Don't kid yourself, this has only gone on since Keir Starmer was in power. It happened when the Tories were in. Digital ID was researched by the Tory party. They spent £400 million on researching it during lockdown. They actually anticipated that everybody would have took the health passport, which they didn't. People don't want to be monitored and controlled. What people want is a government that employs the right people in the right job to monitor people who aren't basically fitting in with society. Criminals, traffickers, money laundering, whatever's going on. Fair enough, yes, let's know who these people are. But all that will happen with digital ID is the good people will sign up to it. We know who they are anyway. That's the likes of me and you who aren't doing anything wrong. And the bad people will find a way around it. They won't join in with this system. They'll contact the people that are capable of hacking it, and they'll come up with their own ideas with fake IDs. And it will not, cannot, and it's absolutely wrong. It's a complete lie to say it can control illegal immigration. It cannot do that. It's beyond its capabilities. The other thing where the government is not being genuine, one of the reasons for hacking into a database is for the data itself. It's the new form of farming. They want your data. 800 million Indians had a data breach. All their personal information was for sale on the dark web after they'd gone digital. It's not safe, it cannot be secure, not with these numbers. And if you want to know what sorting a problem out will be like with a digital ID, think how many problems you've had with, say, ordering something online from Amazon or eBay. How you've had to deal with utility companies that have sent the wrong bill, how your call is important to them but you're in a queue, how dealing with the NHS these days you can't get an appointment because you've got to do it online. Look at Facebook. If you get hacked, how easy is it for you to get through to the people who are running Facebook? If you think Facebook's tough, that is nothing compared to what a government department will be looking after digital ID. People are now waiting months and months for responses from the DVLA just to talk about vehicle licensing. So if everything like this is backed up and backlogged because of people working from home and the civil service not being up to the job, they've absolutely no chance of making a success of digital ID. It's a failure before it begins. They're just selling you like cheesy salesmen. Every time something goes wrong that's in the government's hands, they'll tell you to put it right, we need a digital ID. It's the worst idea in the world. Unless, of course, you want to be controlled by China. And then you have to look at your politicians, the political class. Where are they right now? Well, Keir Starmer and a group of other flakes are out in Brazil talking about climate claptrap. Meantime, our own country is in desperate need of attention in every area you can imagine, from fixing the roads to prisoners being let out of jail early, violent offenders too, over 1,000 of them now back in the community, many reoffended on the first day out. How can they be concerned about what's going on with the climate when they're ignoring the basic needs of every citizen? Why can't you get your child to be able to go to school at the same school as his brother or sister? How come you're waiting so long for a rate review? Because if you were late with your rates, they'd soon get onto you as a small business. How come everything you need from the government isn't working? And it hasn't been working for a number of years. How on earth can you even dream of trusting them with all your information logged into one little package where skilled hackers, and there will be plenty of them, can hack into that information and access anything from your financial status to your medical records? It's not going to work. We have to resist it. Together Declaration have an excellent campaign going with templates for emails if you're struggling how to do it. Go on their website, look on their pages on Facebook and X and find out what they're up to. They're hammering this every day. They're a serious outfit, they're organised, professional, and we need people like this behind sorting this issue out, because it's not going to work. Unless you want to live like they do in China, unless you're quite happy to have total control over your life. I'm not, because I've controlled my life better than the government. I've made a better job of my life than the government would have. I haven't needed the government for anything. I haven't had to ask them for money. The only thing I have to do with them is conform to laws like having a driving licence, paying my poll tax, or whatever it's called now, council tax, paying my way in business. I haven't actually needed to go to them for anything. And when I have needed to go to them for something, I've faced delays and been fobbed off. And I'm sure there's people across the land that have had that experience on every level, from the rates office to vehicle licensing to even planning permission. Whatever's going on, you cannot say that I contacted the local council, I contacted the government and they were really helpful. It's never been like that. So the last people that should be in control of everything about you, including your list of friends, including information that's on your phone, the last people that should have all that in one place is the government.